What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
While Geld didn't have the raw power to outright destroy weapons, this method was effective. If Gracia kept absorbing his hits, the strain would eventually overwhelm her arm, leaving her defenseless.
This isn't good. If I keep blocking like this, my shield will crack, and my arm won't last much longer.
Gracia tried to maneuver out of the relentless onslaught, but Geld's persistence left her no room to recover.
He's not letting up. I need to turn this around somehow. But what can I do?
The bottle's trajectory was becoming increasingly clear. Gracia understood that unless she found a way to counter Geld's unyielding assault, her defeat was inevitable. To the untrained eye, the duel between Geld and Gracia might have seemed uneventful. But to those who understood the finer points of battle, it was nothing short of extraordinary.
I'm so bored.
Ramirez grumbled, her voice carrying through the control room. Benimaru chuckled at her exasperation, clearly entertained by her impatience. The fight was devoid of flashy moves or dazzling magic, just two skilled fighters clashing with precision. While it was a spectacle of advanced techniques and tactics, it felt too subdued for Ramirez, who wasn't following the nuances.
Can't we just call this a draw and move on to the next match?
She waved her hand dismissively, already losing interest. It was as if she'd forgotten that the entire point of the one-on-one battles was to stall for time.
I think it's time Dino-chan paid for what he did.
She added eagerly, her excitement for the next fight clear. With no Beretta around to rein her in, Ramirez's antics went unchecked. Trainee, who usually humored her, simply nodded in agreement.
Well, you're right.
Trainee's casual response only fueled Ramirez's impatience. Benimaru finally stepped in to bring some order to the situation.
Ramirez-sama, have you forgotten that the point of this is to buy time?
What?
That's exactly what I mean.
Oh.
Despite being a demon lord on par with Rimuru, Ramirez's childlike demeanor made it difficult to treat her with the formality her position warranted. It wasn't surprising that Benimaru's tone occasionally slipped into one of blunt practicality.
You can't just mess around like that.
Hey, sub-commander. As the commander-in-chief, I deserve more respect than that.
Yes.
I don't feel your sincerity. What's the issue?
Benimaru sighed internally, finding it harder to maintain formalities with Ramirez, whose antics often tested his patience.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Clearly realizing she had no solid argument, Ramirez quickly dismissed the matter, waving her hand dismissively.
All right, let's get back on track.
Yes.
Benimaru gave a polite yet indifferent response, returning his focus to the screen. Geld's battle was nothing short of spectacular, and Benimaru felt it was only a matter of time before the fight reached its climax. For those with a discerning eye, the match was a masterclass in combat. While the untrained might find it slow, those who understood the intricacies of battle were enthralled. The control room was divided in their reactions, some unimpressed, others captivated. Benimaru, along with Datta, Gabble, and a few others, watched intently, their excitement palpable. Even Ramirez, who had initially shown little interest, found herself engrossed in the unfolding spectacle. Her eyes were glued to the screen as though savoring every moment. On the battlefield, Geld and Gracia's duel had intensified. Their earlier measured tactics were replaced with blistering speed and sheer force. Each clash of their weapons echoed through the arena, splitting the ground, sending gusts of wind rippling outward, and kicking up clouds of dust. The battle was no longer a mere contest of skill, it was a display of raw power and determination. Despite Gracia's clear advantage in strength, Geld's tenacity and relentless attacks continued to close the gap.
I think it's almost over.
Datta murmured, his voice barely above a whisper, as if afraid to disturb the intense atmosphere. Benimaru nodded, his gaze never leaving the screen. The tension in the room was palpable as the tide of battle shifted. Everyone could see it, the end was near. Gracia found herself flustered as her shield slipped from her grasp.
What in the world have you done?
Her eyes darted to her left arm, the one that had been holding the shield. Something was wrong. While her automatic healing ensured it wasn't life-threatening, the situation was far from ideal. Before she could react, Geld's relentless follow-up forced her to drop the shield entirely. Gracia had lived a long life, filled with countless battles. By all accounts, she wasn't being overpowered by Geld in terms of raw strength. Yet, something felt off. The truth was, her experience worked against her. Over the years, she had rarely encountered opponents of equal caliber. It was a common issue among long-lived species, they grew so powerful that worthy adversaries became scarce. Even someone as formidable as Guy Crimson faced this problem. Such beings often relied on their overwhelming strength, rarely experiencing battles that pushed their limits. This reliance on brute force stunted their growth, leaving gaps in their skill sets. When a real threat did appear, most chose to retreat rather than risk a serious confrontation. Geld, however, was the complete opposite. He never retreated. No matter the challenge, he faced it head-on. His relentless commitment to training set him apart. Unlike others who rested between battles, Geld trained with unmatched discipline. Even while working on construction sites, he treated every task as an opportunity to hone his combat skills. On his rare days off, Geld sought training under Agera and Hakuro, pushing himself further. While he might not have been the flashiest among the 12 Protector Kings, his unwavering dedication had made him one of their finest warriors. Though Geld's offensive capabilities were still developing, his defensive mastery was unparalleled. He had earned his place not through talent alone but through relentless hard work and perseverance. As the battle continued, it became clear. Gracia's immense experience couldn't make up for the edge Geld had gained through years of unyielding effort. Geld had perfected a seamless balance between offense and defense, employing strategies that allowed him to deal damage while maintaining an impenetrable defense. One of his greatest strengths was his ability to wear down opponents without giving away his true intentions, a skill he had just demonstrated against Gracia. With Gracia's shield gone, Geld spotted his opening and moved to capitalize on it.
Cow slash.
He swung his meat cleaver, now coated in a dark, menacing energy, aiming directly at Gracia.
10th.
Gracia leapt back, her sharp eyes locked onto his movement. At first glance, Geld's swing seemed overly wide, leaving him vulnerable. Even without her shield, Gracia thought she might be able to exploit this opening to finish the fight. But she hesitated, her instincts warned her it could be a trap. And she was right. Geld's strike wasn't meant for her. Instead, his true target was the shield she had dropped moments earlier. With a swift motion, he activated his predation ability, devouring the shield. The ultimate gift, Gourmet King Beelzebub, allowed Geld to consume and convert anything he absorbed into energy. Because Gracia's circular shield, crafted by Vega, wasn't a naturally formed mythical-grade shield, it was no match for Geld's ability. In mere seconds, the shield was absorbed completely. As a result, Geld's scale shield, already an extension of his body, began to gleam with newfound power, enhanced by the absorbed energy.
Oh, no way. Can he even consume inorganic materials?
Why not? If it's mythical grade, it's bound to have a will of its own. That shield's origins seem questionable, but that's none of my concern.
Geld's response was calm and matter-of-fact, devoid of any boastfulness. Yet his words carried a heavy implication. His abilities allowed him to consume anything, whether organic or inorganic. And in this battle, that made him nearly unstoppable. Even an object with a will can be consumed if it fails to defend itself. Cold sweat trickled down Gracia's face as she realized the precariousness of her position. Her defenses had crumbled, and the power gap between her and Geld had significantly narrowed. If his sword had landed. A brief silence hung in the air. Breaking the tension, Gracia spoke up with a calm demeanor.
Well, I guess that's it. I lost.
Her words were accompanied by a bright, genuine smile. Geld remained cautious, his guard still up. While her tone seemed sincere, he wasn't entirely convinced it wasn't a bluff. Gracia, noticing his hesitation, chuckled softly at his reaction.
All right. I've always been curious about what it's like to revive in this labyrinth. Guess now is my chance to find out.
Her lighthearted response eased the tension, and Geld sensed no malice in her words.
So you're saying I've won? If that's the case, there's no point in continuing.
Geld sheathed his weapon, unwilling to prolong a battle that was already decided.
Exactly. You're a true warrior. I acknowledge my defeat.
Gracia accepted her loss with grace, a wry smile on her face as she admitted her shortcomings.
All right, the winner is Geld.
Ramirez's energetic voice rang out, officially declaring the result. With that, both fighters exited the arena. Now, all eyes turned to Dino. Ramirez's excitement for the next match was palpable. Ramirez's voice boomed across the Coliseum.
Come on, Dino. Get out here. I haven't forgotten what you pulled last time. It's my turn to knock you around.
Her words dripped with vengeance. She'd given Dino 5 resurrection bracelets, clearly planning to kill him 5 times over. It was obvious her intentions were more personal than strategic, as if she'd completely forgotten the actual purpose of the event. Meanwhile, Dino appeared entirely unbothered.
Ramirez. I know.
What?
You're out. I'm taking the next match.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Dino's absurd suggestion was swiftly shut down by Ramirez, leaving even the onlookers surprised at his audacity.
Damn, she shot down my brilliant idea just like that. Fine, I'll come up with something better.
He grumbled inwardly but had little choice. His potential opponents were Beretta and Zijin, two fighters completely out of his league. Dino knew he didn't stand a chance against them. Nevertheless, he quickly shifted gears and executed his next plan.
I forfeit. I declare my defeat.
Dino announced his surrender without so much as lifting a finger. His strategy was simple: avoid a tough fight entirely by giving up right from the start. After witnessing Gracia's defeat, he figured it was better to bow out quickly than waste energy in a losing battle. Gracia returned to Dino's side, speaking softly as if to herself.
Geld gotten so much stronger. He's like a completely different person compared to when we fought before. What? Did he actually lose?
What are you talking about? He lost because he dropped his shield.
Gracia froze, taken aback by Dino's interpretation.
Did you really think it was all just an act? For the record, I wasn't kidding either.
Pico added firmly. Pico's comment drew a small nod from Mai, silently confirming the seriousness of the situation. It was clear now, every player had been defeated, and things were getting critical. With a smug expression, Dino asked.
You've got enough strength to escape, right?
Obviously. Yeah, it would be suicidal if we couldn't even move.
Gracia and Pico nodded, affirming their confidence. Meanwhile, Mai, always serious, stepped in with an unexpected piece of advice.
Giving up won't help. If you did something wrong to her, why not just apologize and admit you're sorry?
Her bluntness caught Dino off guard. He could only nod sheepishly and mutter.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it was far too late to change course now.
What? That's such naive thinking. I don't care if I win or lose, I just want to see you cry.
Ramirez's selfishness flared up, leaving Dino with no choice but to fight.
A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Just a Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Jason Martin, Zach Rosen, Jerry Sladek, Ray Perez, Jay, Donald Williams, Day of Light, John M, Godman Gaming, Markithian Tidwell, Adrian, Kumo, T. Bush, Kirisoto Sama, JV, Thomas, Joshua Cousins, Jose Hernandez, Khalid, Christian Deshazer, Divine C. Harris, Montyboy 98, Ruben, Yuki Iki, Gray, Isaac, Koala King 93, Quilly Buckner, Alver, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, Gary Miles, Dragon Spawn 666, J. Rule, Nate, Leiron Sangkap, Lucas Guet, Jason Martin, Sky T, Andre Hamilton, Martin Ramos, Emperor WSA, Miko Espinosa, George Hage, Gobi Lin, Pratik Bandari, Faiz Mansour, Jackson Early, Carl Stephen Bernadel, Gareth Hashimoto, Steven Madison, Marl Barsha, Ralph Ignacio, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke, Kamal Luke, Akshay Devate, Elvin Quarty, Ian Sikibiol, Thanakorn Lee Sawat, KACP9R, The Harv, Drayden Yamauchi, Joshua Wolf. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.